Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and some more bolt action. We have the new M5 Stuart light tank plastic kit for you guys. Excited to show this to you. So we've been eagerly anticipating this, and I'm sure many others have as well. So just a fantastic tank all around in game, but also just something that really needed an update, and having a nice new plastic kit is certainly the way to go there. So as we see on the contents up here, so one M5 Stuart light tank with options to make the M5A1 and the E77 mechanized flamethrower version. So that was one of the things too. So there were just, because there are so many versions of the Stuart, and even like the earlier M3, um, it was just it was kind of a mess to make sure you're buying the right one, on like Warlord site or wherever you're buying it from. So like you making sure you're buying the right one, getting the right thing, and then um, essentially having to literally buy a different tank for each variant if you were filling them or things like that. So with this, with a plastic kit, that at least brings in the possibility of maybe doing some conversion work and seeing if we can get multiple builds out of one kit. We'll see that when we get it open for you guys. We haven't actually taken a look yet, so this is opening it right along with you guys here. So we get stat cards in there, some decals as normal, and then some damage markers as we typically get. And it looks like they are including multiple cards, which is great for the different versions. Um, and obviously, used by the Allies, so, British and American versions, Marine versions. So lots of good things here. So flamethrower version, yeah, just all kinds of goodness. And looks like we'll get, oh wow, so British crew, U.S. crew, and Soviet crew even. Yeah, that's right, Lend-Lease on that. So yeah, really cool stuff. We're gonna get this open for you guys here in just a second, and then we'll dive in. So stay tuned. Alright guys, we're back. We got everything laid out for you. So here's what we have. So two plastic sprues. We'll get to that in a second. The damage markers here, we don't really need to spend much time on them. The typical affair there. The instructions are really nice on this one. Got to point that out. So um, sometimes the instruction sheets are just on like kind of like more plain paper, but like Warlord made this on like high gloss or fairly high gloss paper. It might not show up on the camera here, but really good instructions for all the variants, which is certainly going to be helpful figuring out what you want to build, and letting you know when and where to put certain things. So really good stuff there. Just trying to flip through that for a second for you guys. It's a bit of a weird thing going on. It might not show up on camera, but every few pages there's like this yellowish, like, not residue, but like it seems like the ink kind of something happened there. I'd say it's probably like 2 or 3 pages that's happened on. It's not doesn't make anything like not legible, but it's just it's a weird little thing. I don't know if they were having a printer issue or not, but you can see the tank in all its glory and all the various builds and some painted examples and stuff like that. And this, ending up here on the flamethrower version as well, and then finishing up, I think, with just another sort of winter camo one here. But get some nice stats on the front there. So almost 9,000 of these things produced in various variants. Um, Pretty solid top speed for this thing in real life. Yeah, 36 miles an hour. Obviously, a light tank, and kind of loaded down with weapons. Not the by late war, certainly the 37 mil main cannon isn't really going to be dealing with any German tanks at that point, but still capable of doing some damage on the side, and certainly capable of taking out armored cars and other lighter skinned things. But as far as our game purposes here, and just festooned with machine guns, right? You got 230 cals, you got a Hull MMG, a coax MMG, and then you can upgrade into a Pintle HMG as well. Although interestingly, there we haven't checked the sprue yet, but all the pictures, and I could be wrong, but all the pictures make it look like it's like another 30 cal, unless I'm just missing something. But like there's an example there. There's a good example here, which to my knowledge, I don't know if that was actually used in the HMG role, but it seems like on most American kits, the turret, like the pintle mounted, is going to be a 50 cal. So not sure if the 50 cal is what's supposed to go on the Stuart or not. Somebody knows, hit us up in the comments for sure. But I think that's going to be the only thing that's included here in the kit. But regardless, it's an HMG for game purposes. It's just more of a visual thing. But yeah, maybe it was a heavier version of like a 30 cal or something like that, or I don't, I'm not sure. But let us know in the comments, guys, if you know exactly what machine gun that was. Regardless, armor wasn't all that great, although the M5A1 had some upgrades there, which we'll talk about in just a second. But anyway, so we have that. Really generous with the decal sheet. There's a lot going on here. So if we can get this to focus, maybe. There we go. Yeah, so all kinds of good stuff that we can do there. So we'll set that aside for the moment. And then we'll get into what everybody's really here for, and that's the plastic here. So again, absolutely gorgeous detail here. And this is, to my knowledge, an actual Warlord kit, not Italieri, so that's why there's not like a bajillion pieces here, even though there's a fair few. But this is like Warlord plastic, like Warlord sprues and stuff. So in that sense, like I said, it seems like just fewer pieces overall to have to deal with, and looks like it should all be pretty nice. But as you can kind of see here, we'll get as close as we can to still pick up detail. But various tank commanders that we can use there for whatever nationality that we do want to field there, turret pieces and all that stuff. So I'll show you guys the flip side here. Again, just absolutely gorgeous. Warlord definitely knocked it out of the park with this one. And then here, again, the rest of it, the hull, nice. That's all basically like one piece there, more or less. So really good deals here. I think that's probably the main cannon. Then we got our pintle mount, hull, machine gun. So looks really good here. And if we get this bad boy flipped over for you guys. So yeah, this should be a real fun one to put together. We actually picked up 2 of these, so we might go regular and then maybe do a flamethrower version. Still haven't decided on that yet, but on the card end, so we get the flamethrower version, which was unique for the U.S., basically the Marines, and we can kind of see the points on that. So inexperienced 116, regular 145, and 174. So again, overall the Stuarts are pretty much a steal. I don't know, on the super competitive scene, how much they're still used at all by any U.S. players, but just for fun, casual games, it's certainly a great tank and a good one to have in your collection, especially for, again, like the more casual games, that it can do a lot of work for you without having to spend a whole lot of points, or field something like a Sherman in every game you play. But so the coming back to the flamethrower one real quick, so exclusively to late war there, and you'll see that in your lists. The Stuart here, so British or American, although again they included a Soviet crew member sticking out of the hatch there in the frame. So we'll have to go back and consult the Russian book and see where those were usable. But here, mid to late war, inexperienced will run you 124, so a little bit more expensive overall than the flamethrower version. 155 regular, which will probably be the point where a lot of people will pick it up. Or veteran is 196, and hey, you're still under 200 points, which is not bad. So if you're playing like a 1,000-point game, roughly a fifth of your army, 20%, and it can definitely do some work for you. Now, obviously, it's going to struggle if you run up against any of the big things, but chances are if they're spending 500-600 points on a tank at 1,000 points, they're not going to have too many other things out, and not too many other order dice. So just if you don't get shot, you don't have to worry about blowing up. So got a lot of interesting things going on here. So the M5A1, so the regular version here, damage value 8, so basically light tank. And so options here, again, pintle mounted HMG for 25 points. It's going to run you a big chunk there, but if you don't have any viable targets for the main gun, you can hose down a single squad with machine gun fire, or spread that fire out a little bit. But yeah, you can basically throw 13 machine gun dice if you want to go that route each turn. So that can certainly help thin out the enemy infantry. You can also add the Cullen's hedgerow cutter for 10 extra points if you're dealing with that kind of terrain. So the other special rules here. So gyro stabilized. So if you do take the veteran crew, you get a gyro stabilized weapon. So you can basically ignore the -1 to hit for moving and shooting, which you should probably be doing a fair bit of moving, just moving from cover to cover, making sure you can support your infantry and whatever you need to there. So it's great that you have that option. Then reinforced armor as well. So basically, shots to the front of the M5A1 actually count as a medium tank, just because there was some extra plating and stuff added there later in the war. So as long as you can keep that front pointed towards the enemy, you're basically a medium tank, right? Which is just value, right? And then again, just the business end or business stats here of our guns. So again, the light AT certainly can reach out pretty far. And single shot pen +4, again, it's just a light AT gun, and does have an HE of 1 inch there. But so you're going to struggle again to bring down your counterparts, really, like other mediums and stuff like that. But you can certainly feast on light and other softer skin things. And when there's no viable targets, again, just hose people down with the MGs, right? And you again should really just tear up infantry, especially if they are unfortunate enough to be in the open. So definitely, again, something that's just a great all-around tank. And can save you some points over a Sherman if you're not necessarily expecting opponents to bring anything heavy. This is a fantastic value for you. So even if you go veteran and upgrade into the HMG, it's just a little bit over 200 points. And as long as you play smart with it, keep it safe, keep that front pointed to the enemy, this should do good work for you. The flamethrower, so the E7 here. Just stuck. Oh no, it does have the reinforced armor too. Nice. So damage value 8. Again, I think it mentions in the booklet like only 4 of these were ever built. So maybe it does mention it here. Oh, yeah, it's right here as well. So it does have the reinforced armor as well, but volatile. Carrying around all that fuel. So when rolling on the damage effects charts against it, add an extra 1 to the roll, basically because you're carrying fuel. So makes sense, right? But again, flamethrower here has got a range of 12, d6 +1 shots, still a pen +3. So you can get some lucky damaging against vehicles as well. And obviously, anything that's open topped, like a transport or something like that could be pretty nasty. But turret mounted flamethrower there, so causing all kinds of havoc. So infantry beware on that. Really doesn't care about your cover. And it does still sport a MMG as well. So there you have it, guys. The new Stuart. Let us know your thoughts on the kit. Have you already picked one up? Are you using it in your forces? Are you playing Brits, Americans, or I think even Soviets, right? No Soviet card in here, but again, not sure how many Soviet lists actually have that. We don't really play Soviets all that much on our end. But just fantastic. I think, again, Warlord overall knocks it out of the park here. So, again, especially with it being an actual Warlord kit as opposed to like Italieri or anything. So it's an actual miniature kit, not a model kit. Again, very generous on the decals here. Lots of goodies there and a really good booklet. So, it's nice to, have a new kit always is nice, but having things consolidated from multiple different versions and being able to basically build multiple things out of the box there. If we had a critique, which isn't really even a critique, but just because it happened to mention it here, which kind of reminded us. So there were even some other more sort of exotic variants here that, would have been just more icing on the cake, really. But things like the the M8 motor carriage, the howitzer there, like the T8 recon vehicle. I can't remember what those actually would look like. I have to look that up. But command tank and other stuff. So there could have been like some extra bits and stuff added. But that being said, there's nothing that says down the road that they can't make a upgrade sprue or something like that, or other kit that just adds some of these extra bits to it. So or maybe down the road they revisit the M8. I think that's the Scott, if I'm not mistaken. But maybe combine the M8 with, again, whatever the T8 actually looked like in a command tank, and then between two kits you would have literally like every variant you could build. So, but yeah, this is just fantastic. Definitely recommend people pick this up. So A+ here for Warlord on this one. So yeah, hit us up in the comments, guys, your thoughts. Like we said, be happy to hear from you and how you use your Stuarts in whichever force you're playing, and how have they performed for you. Any difficulties that you typically run into, where do they struggle, And then if you could leave us a like and subscribe as well, guys, that helps us continue to grow and bring you content. And also, if you want to support the channel a little bit more, check out the link in the description there. If you head over to Warlord from there, anything you pick up comes back and helps supports us a little bit. Also, if your local store, for some reason, your hobby store, doesn't carry anything from Warlord and you want them to, we have a little bit of information there in the description, just so your store owner or whoever can get in touch with the right people. So if you do want to have Warlords locally, or you want to like help get the hobby going in your area and your store doesn't, that's the relevant info, relevant people to contact there. If you're stuck like currently ordering online or something like that, or having to travel because your local store doesn't have it. So hit us up, guys. Thanks so much for stopping by and hanging out with us. We will see you in the next one. We got some more bolts in action coming your way shortly. Take care.